The story of Martin Luther King Jr., the man who dreamed of freedom. Before he spoke the words "I have a dream," before millions marched beside him, before the world knew his name, there was a young boy in the American South. A boy who asked a question that changed history. Why are people treated differently just because of their skin? This is the journey of Martin Luther King Jr., the boy who dreamed of freedom and inspired a nation to rise. A voice that shaped a nation. Martin Luther King Jr. is not just a historical figure. He is a symbol of courage, hope, and peaceful strength. In this story, we will explore his life slowly and clearly, so you can learn English, understand every moment, and feel inspired by his journey. Early life in Atlanta, Georgia. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929. In Atlanta, Georgia, USA. He grew up in a loving home. His parents taught him about faith, discipline, and dignity. But he also grew up in a country divided by segregation. Black and white people lived separately. Separate schools, separate restaurants, separate buses. Even as a child, Martin knew something was wrong. A childhood moment that changed his heart. When King was 6 years old, he experienced a painful moment. A white friend he played with every day was suddenly not allowed to see him anymore because he was black. That heartbreak stayed with him forever. He began to understand injustice, not from books, but from real life. Discovering his voice. As he grew older, Martin became an excellent student. He loved reading, debating, and learning about justice. He also learned something powerful. Words can move people. Words can change people. Words can change the world. When he was just 15, he entered college early. A sign of how exceptional he was. Education and inspiration. Martin studied sociology, philosophy, and religion. He read about great leaders. Mahatma Gandhi, Jesus, Abraham Lincoln. From Gandhi, he learned nonviolent resistance. From Jesus, he learned love and forgiveness. From America's founders, he learned about the dream of equality. He believed these ideas could work together to build a better world. Becoming a pastor and leader. After college, Martin became a preacher like his father. His voice was calm, powerful, and full of hope. People listened. People felt inspired. But King wanted to do more than preach. He wanted to change the system. He wanted to bring justice to those who suffered. The spark, Rosa Parks and Montgomery bus boycott. In 1955, something historic happened. A woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger. She was arrested. The black community had enough. They decided to boycott the buses. They needed a leader. Someone strong. Someone calm. Someone who believed in peace. They chose Martin Luther King Jr. He was only 26. A new movement is born. King's speeches inspired thousands. For more than a year, black citizens walked instead of riding buses. They walked to work. They walked to school. They walked for freedom. And in the end, they won. The Supreme Court ruled that bus segregation was illegal. King became the face of a new national movement. The Civil Rights Movement. Marches, protests, and nonviolent resistance. Throughout the 1960s, Martin led peaceful protests. All across America, he faced threats, arrests, violence, hatred. But he never responded with violence. He believed. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. His courage inspired millions. Black, white, young, old. I have a dream, the speech that changed the world. On August 28, 1963. More than 250,000 people marched to Washington, D.C. Standing at the Lincoln Memorial, Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his most famous speech. I have a dream. A dream of equality. A dream of freedom. A dream that children of all colors could hold hands as equals. His words became eternal. The Nobel Peace Prize. In 1964, at age 35, King became the youngest person to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. He didn't keep the money. He donated it to the movement. Because for him, it was never about awards. It was about justice. Final years and sacrifice. The fight continued. King spoke against poverty and war. He wanted peace not only for America, but for the entire world. On April 4, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. His life was taken, but his dream lived on. Legacy and lessons. Martin Luther King Jr. taught us that courage is stronger than fear. Peace is stronger than violence. Love is stronger than hate. A dream can change a nation. His message echoes today. In every classroom, every community, every heart. Conclusion. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just dream of freedom. He lived for it. He marched for it. He sacrificed for it. And because of him, the world took a step closer to equality. Thank you for listening to this journey. More inspiring stories are coming soon. Like, comment, and follow for more learning and storytelling.